The Pittsburgh Steelers conclude their 2025 NFL draft class with a couple of picks in round 7. Carson Bruener, linebacker out of Washington, and then Dante Kent, undersized potential nickel cornerback option for the Pittsburgh Steelers out of Central Michigan. Today we're going to be talking about both of these prospects and their chances of potentially making the Steelers roster and helping the Steelers win in 2025. But before we get into our round 7 pick cut here today, make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Later in this evening here, we've already put out multiple cuts on today's show, but our final video will be me giving my final grades for every single pick that Omar Khan made during the 2025 NFL Draft this year and giving my official team grade for the NFL Draft this year for Omar Khan, the Steelers GM. All right, so we can talk about Carson Bruener here first at 226 overall. He is the son of a Steelers scout, and, you know, he's somebody that's known as a downhill run defender. Now, he's also known as a special teamer, and that's probably what his role is going to be because with the Steelers right now, obviously you have Patrick Queen, obviously you have Peyton Wilson, obviously you have Cole Holcomb, and you have Malik Harrison as well. So Bruner's slotting in as your number 5 linebacker, and if he's going to be making the team for the Pittsburgh Steelers this year, guys, he's going to have to really win as a special team type of player. This is our scouting report from Tom Downey. Saying special teams ace with the potential to contribute on passing downs, quality athlete who plays hard and tough and will always lack power and struggle in the run game. So listen, man, like he's a special teams ace. He's going to be able to bring that element to the game for sure. And, you know, he's going to bring a lot of toughness. And it sounds like, once again, it's a culture fit for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that's kind of been the theme of this draft, is getting good people that fit the culture that the Steelers want to have here in the Steel City. Here's what The Athletic's Dane Brugler had to say on Carson Bruener. Bruner will be limited by middling agility and play violence, but his production represents an ability to always be around the football. He projects as an NFL backup with the speed and mentality of a core special teamer. So, you know, I think that Bruner is somebody that will absolutely contribute on special teams for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he's going to have a chance to make this team because of that. So he's going to have to prove himself in that regard, and, you know, if he doesn't do that in the preseason and in Latrobe and all that different stuff, we can probably see him not make the team this year. Of course, you know, this team has carried multiple linebackers before and a good collection of linebackers, especially ones that help on special teams. So Bruner's going to have a chance to upgrade the special teams unit for sure, and also be somebody that's played a lot of football at Washington, and played in a lot of big games, and like Brugler says, is around the football quite frequently. So this is not anything game-changing. It's a round 7 pick. All right, but the Steelers have been trying to get players that are going to be, be able to fill roles throughout this squad, and special teams is certainly one of those areas that they need help in. So grade the pick for me down there in the comments section. Give me an A, a B, a C, a D, or an F for Carson Bruener, linebacker out of Washington with the 226th overall pick. In just a second here, I'm going to tell you about our sponsor today at Game Time. While I'm talking about Game Time, give me an A, a B, a C, a D, or an F for Carson Bruener. Now let's have a little discussion here about our friends at Game Time. And guys, I'm someone that likes to go to a baseball game every once in a while to get my mind off of football for a little bit, and, you know, maybe get my mind off of Aaron Rodgers and stop worrying about that. And I love going to a baseball game because it's my first love. You know, I was a college baseball player, if you guys didn't know that. So I always love to go to a ball game, whether it's here in Arlington and watch the Rangers play, or whether I'm in Pittsburgh watching the Pirates. I really love being able to just take in a ball game and not have to worry about Aaron Rodgers or anything else Steelers related for about 3 hours. So Game Times is the official ticketing partner of Steelers Talk by Chat Sports, and makes getting tickets to any event faster and easier, all on your phone. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch, and with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with great features like Game Time picks, views from your seat, all that great stuff on the Game Time app. You guys can have the most seamless experience buying tickets you will ever have in your life. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time today. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code ChatSports. It's one word, all caps, ChatSports, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. You can create an account and redeem code ChatSports at ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guarantee. Now we can talk about a very intriguing prospect here out of Central Michigan, potential slot cornerback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Dante Kent. All right. Now, Kent is somebody that's bringing not phenomenal size to the table. He's only 187 pounds. He is from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, though. Redshirt senior, a 5-year player for Central Michigan. And, he didn't have any interceptions last year, but did have 8 pass breakups and 53 tackles. Now, Kent is somebody that's known as kind of a burner, and he's got some really good speed. And he can keep up with guys in press man coverage. He ran a 4.38 at the combine this year. He's a really good blitzer out of the slot. We know how important that is to Mike Tomlin to play this position, and I think he's going to compete with Beanie Bishop Jr. here to be the starting slot cornerback for the Pittsburgh Steelers this year. He says, or Dane Brugler says this about Kent. Kent is an above-average tackler for the position, at least 50 tackles each of the last 4 years with NFL-quality speed, processing, and special teams value. So another guy that can bring special teams value as well. Now, the ball production isn't necessarily there, but the tackling is certainly there. 31-inch arms for somebody that's only 5'10" is a pretty darn good arm length for somebody of Kent's size. And, he can play in the slot. He can play outside if you really need him to. You get more cornerback depth here, and it's going to be another piece that's going to compete for a job on this Pittsburgh Steelers roster. And, who knows? We saw Beanie Bishop Jr. as a UDFA last year come in and win the Week 1 starting job for the slot cornerback position. Now, Dante Kent is going to be able to compete with Beanie. And, Beanie played some good football last year. He had a lot of interceptions for especially a rookie in the slot. Now, he's very undersized. So, this is going to be the battle of the undersized nickel cornerback types. So, I think Kent's going to have his work cut out for him to beat out Beanie Bishop Jr., even though I think Beanie is even smaller than Kent is. But this is a player that certainly has NFL tools with the speed and the arm length and the tackling ability and the processing ability as a defender. So this is someone that I'm intrigued to see how he does in rookie minicamp and during OTAs, and kind of see how he compares to Beanie Bishop Jr. on the field in Latrobe when I'm there for Steelers training camp this year as well. So overall, pretty good pick here in round 7. Make sure you guys, let's take a look at the Steelers selections to this point. And we're going to be breaking all these down here. This is the complete Steelers draft class for 2025. Derek Harmon in round 1. Then you get Caleb Johnson in round 3. 2 great picks to start to really solidify the rest of your starting caliber players on this roster. Then Jack Sawyer will be a backup edge rusher. Kind of in that Preston Smith kind of role where if somebody gets injured, he's more than capable of coming in and providing some help. Y.A. Black, nose tackle out of Iowa, will have a very defined role in this defense as a true run stuffer. Will Howard, your quarterback that you get in round 6, people are already talking about him replacing Aaron Rodgers. That's how much people really don't want Aaron Rodgers to be the Pittsburgh Steelers starting quarterback. But, man, it's a round 6 projection there, round 6 pick. He's being brought in as a backup. I expect him to be the QB3, but, man, it's going to be fun to see a rookie quarterback sling that thing during the preseason this year. And then Carson Bruener and Dante Kent, who we talked about today, round out the rest of the draft class. Now, predict it for me down there in the comment section. Will Bruner or Kent make the 53-man roster this year? I think it's a pretty good bet that at least one of these guys makes the roster, if not both of them. So let me know what you guys think down there in the comments section. And I know, there's other players that the Steelers fans really wanted here. Kobe Bryant was another kind of undersized nickel type that was still here, and they went with Kent instead. Willie Lampkin was somebody that was really popular. There was a number of really good wide receivers available. But I think that we should watch out for the UDFAs here, guys, because I think there's going to be a number of receivers that the Steelers can look towards with the UDFA signings. And, I'm really excited to see what this UDFA list ends up looking like for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Of course, we'll have news updates. We'll have the complete list of UDFA signings for the Pittsburgh Steelers probably tomorrow. If it happens tonight, we'll have a video tonight, but we'll also have our entire full 2025 NFL draft grades for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'll let you guys know how I feel about this entire class later on today.